Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, my fellow YouTubers. Welcome to another edition of Very Sky Rita Lee. I'm also known as San Juan Island Prepper. So, if you're new to the channel, hit the like, subscribe, thumbs up button. If you're a comer backer, welcome. So, I was just going over some news. Headline is Russian nuclear submarines deployed off U.S. coast sparks alarm. Says Russian President Vladimir Putin. War in Ukraine continues to rage. The U.S. commanders and military observers sounding the alarm about the activity Russian submarines fleet thousands of miles away off the U.S. coasts. Throughout the war, which began with Putin launched a full-scale invasion in neighboring Ukraine last February, there have been buildup of Russian Navy forces in the Black Sea. There has also been an increasing presence of Russian submarines off the U.S. coast and the Mediterranean, according to the officials. Higgins couldn't find any info, so there we go. Russian Navy commands one of the most diverse submarines fleet in the world. Some are capable of carrying ballistic missiles with nuclear warheads, which Moscow considers keys to strategic turrets. Sounds like Moscow wants to predict first strike. The nation has been working to improve its submarine fleet since the collapse of the Soviet Union in 1991. Hold on a sec. Give me 1 sec. Yeah. Oh, shit. All right. That scraps that then. Okay, cool. Thank you.
What do you want to eat?
Well, I was going to have a sandwich, but, with no cash on hand.
I could place the order ahead of time.
I wouldn't worry about it. First, I got to find my cash thing first, and I was doing a short YouTube vid when he called. I just don't know where the thing went, since you didn't take the...
Okay, so if I come back for the cash, where do you want me to go?
I'll figure it out later. Meantime, do your thingy or there. I don't even know where the thing went. That's the thing. It should. Yeah, it was. I don't know. So, anyways. Yeah, well, I'm doing a live video. I'll figure out the cash problem later.
Okay, what do you want me to do then?
Just go get your hot sauce you wanted. I'll figure it out.
All
right, bye. Waste of my damn time. Submarine fleet since collapse of the Soviet Union in 1991. Over the past several years in particular, Moscow produced series of submarines that have capability to reach most critical target U.S. and its continental Europe. Of course it does. That's why it's called a submarine. Where's my cash? Chloe's like, the cash thing's missing. She called to tell me I couldn't get a sandwich because my cash went missing. Yeah, can you believe that, everyone? Anyways, let's continue this, shall we? It was around here, but saw it last night, but it went missing? Huh, how odd's that? Of all the things in the world that can go missing on a day like today. Yeah, my cash, which was right in front of her nose. Oh, here it is. Found the cash. All right. So, in December, Putin said his country would be building more nuclear-powered submarines, which will ensure Russia's security for decades coming. Yeah, it wouldn't ensure decades. There's an indication that nuclear-powered submarines have been deployed off the coast of the United States and into the Mediterranean, elsewhere along Europe, per ferry. Michael Peterson, director of Russian Maritime Studies Institute, RMSAI, which conducts research in Russian military and economic issues linked to the world's oceans. Their deployments mirror Soviet-style submarine deployments in the Cold War. Last October, the U.S. Air Force General Glenn Van Herk, the head of the U.S. Northern Command at NORAD, warned that growing presence of nuclear-powered Sverdlovsk-class submarines off the U.S. coast. He characterized Russia as the primary threat to our country right now. They just moved their First Severodvinsk submarine in the Pacific, Van Hert told the Associated U.S. Army Conference. Another submarine is out in the Mediterranean right now, and another that's out on its way to the Atlantic. That will be persistent, proximate threat capable of carrying a significant number of land attack cruise missiles that can threaten our homeland. A month earlier, OSINT and naval analyst Hi Sutton said there had been a buildup of Russian Navy forces in the Mediterranean. Van Hark in 2021 described the submarines as being on par with domestic submarines, a term of quietness. February, the U.S. Navy Vice Admiral Andrew Woody Lewis told the U.S. Navy Institute Center for Strategic and International Studies think tank that the increased presence of Russian submarine activity in the Atlantic Ocean means that its service no longer considered the East Coast as an uncontested area or an automatic safe haven for its vessels. We have seen an ever-increased number of Russian submarines deployed in the Atlantic. Submarine deployed in the Atlantic, and through these submarines are more capable than ever, deploying for long periods of time with more lethal weapon systems. Lewis said at the time, our sailors have the mindsets that are no longer uncontested and expect to operate alongside their competitors each and every underway. U.S. Navy is undergoing modernized drive. Its total of 64 submarines in its fleet, including 50 nuclear-powered attack subs, which are tasked with engaging and destroying enemy vessels, supporting onshore operations and carrier groups, and carrying out surveillance, according to the non-profit Nuclear Threat Initiative. The U.S. began building its largest and most advanced Columbia-class nuclear-powered ballistic missile submarine in June of 2022. 3 of the country's most powerful attack submarines were reported deployed by the U.S. Navy in 2021. And in October 2022, the U.S. Navy deployed its stealthiest U.S. submarine in the Arabian Sea, the Ohio-class SSBN. Former submariner Tom Shugart, the adjunct senior fellow at the Center of New American Security, said its deployment could be the show whoever needs a reminder that U.S. is willing and able to send SSBNs to virtually any ocean area it chooses undetected. The exact scale of Russian submarine underwater activity remains unclear, though Peterson said they've been clear increase over the last 20 years. Peterson also noted, however, that he believes a weakness will be in place of Russian Navy for at least the next 3 to 5 years due to Putin's war in Ukraine. The Russian Navy is running out of munitions. I think that's clear. The campaign against strategic infrastructure targets have slowed down. They're not shooting as frequently anymore. And I think that's an indication they are running out of weapons or a short supply, told Newsweek. He added, so there's going to be weakness going forward to the next several years until the conflict is over and the Navy is able to reconstitute. There you go, peep. That's all she wrote. That's all she wrote. So think about it. Better prep now, man, because this is really, this is getting worse. If they're really there, it's time for you to think. What are they doing? They could be putting us on notice. They're probably planning to annihilate us just because they hate us. Personally, until I can figure out the reason, something ain't right. So I say stand tall, keep prepping, prep like your life depends on it, and yeah, there you have it. So in the meantime, thanks for watching, and school's out. Please add and subscribe, post comments, leave feedback, suggestion, hit the like, subscribe buttons. Hold some fun for your family, including your dogs, your cats, your bunnies, your service dogs, your service bunnies. Hit the bell notification, thumbs up button. Keep the comments nice, all we ask, and God bless you in everything you do.